One of my favorite parts about working in digital marketing and social media management is helping a brand go from absolute zero to something that's sustainable and works for them. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Today is day 7 of my 75 Hard Challenge YouTube edition. So, the most recent version of this that I can think of was a lawyer client that I had at my previous job. Basically, a lawyer had started her own firm. She had been in business for either 6 months or, almost close to a year. And she had just wanted to get started on her social media presence. She was building her website. She was getting clients and getting known in the area that she's based in. And she somehow, her and my boss linked up. They had a conversation and it grew from there. So the first thing that we did was put together a strategy. And strategy is if there's no base to start from, strategy is the absolute necessary first step. And that strategy call went amazing. I was the person who led that call. Just building rapport with a client, getting to know them, understanding where they're coming from and where they're trying to go is very essential in putting together directions and a roadmap for them to continue forward. So the way that we did that was we had a long conversation. I have a lot of interesting questions. I allow the client to talk and speak their mind and go down rabbit holes and take a bunch of notes so that I understand who their target audience is, what types of content they want to make, what types of content they want to stay away from, how often do they want to be showing up, and what kind of messaging are they trying to put out there to those potential clients or build a potential audience. One of the key factors of this specific client was that she didn't already have an online personal brand, but she was willing to use her face and her likeness on the company brand. And I told her that that would be really important, especially if she wasn't interested in building her own personal brand, especially online. Now, she did have a good reputation where she came from. A lot of people knew her. A lot of people had good working relationships with her and good things to say about her. And all of those things came into play in that strategy conversation. Once we completed the strategy, I really needed to make sure that she had the assets needed in order to actually start posting. So we did an initial photo shoot. She had done a photo shoot prior, so we gained access to those photos. And then we also did an initial video shoot. And on that shoot day, we were together maybe 4 hours. And before the shoot, I came extra prepared with a ton of questions geared towards her expertise, geared towards her target market, questions that they might have, things that people would want to know about her or her firm before they started working with her. We really came with a giant outline of questions and scenarios and things like that. And she came with multiple changes of outfit. So we had all the time in the world to create a ton of content. Most videographers are doing the content in a day for 3 months or whatever. When I tell you that we really knocked it out, it was like one after the other. And I think one of the most successful parts of that was prepping the client. So we did have an initial strategy meeting before that video shoot, but we also sent her the questions and everything in advance and made sure that she had time to review them, revise them, and came prepared with answers and ready to be on camera. All right, so now we have a strategy, we have assets, and we're ready to start creating content. But the first thing I tell every client, especially if they're starting from zero, you have no idea what works. One of the things that I know that works for people who are the face of their brand is showing up as yourself. That initial kickoff post of, hey, I'm starting this is my thing, usually gets good engagement from people who know you. So we leaned heavy into that. That first post was all about celebrating her and her entry into entrepreneurship online, and it did fairly well. From there, we started with carousel posts, posts just introducing the firm, posts introducing her specific field of law, and things, when it's not person focused and you're just building that initial momentum. Sometimes those posts don't initially take off, but I still think they're important for people who come back to visit the page, especially in the beginning, to know who you are. So after about 2 to 3 weeks of posting those starter pieces of content, the client had already reached out to us and said, hey, I've gotten like 2 hot leads, 2 inquiries, which was very good. And we were expecting, like decent results, but that was really good to hear. Things shifted upward whenever we added the video component. So the videos took a little bit longer to put together than the stills. And once we were able to add those videos to the content plan, initially they might not have seen super high engagement, but what we heard on the back end of those was people are reaching out into her DMs, they're sending messages, they're sending emails, they're getting in contact with her to help them out with things or to consult on things or to congratulate her or just to like be personable. And that's exactly what we wanted them to do. I'll say that the main call to action to most of the videos wasn't even to book a call to inquire about services. It was to inform and educate with a little bit of her personality in there to get people to get to know her so that whenever they do have an issue with that specific area of law, they would think of her and give her a call. Now, due to the nature of my previous agreement, I am not allowed to share specific numbers or the specific client's name, but I believe that the video effort that we put into her account really paid off when I was there. Honestly, I haven't seen any other videos since I left. The video aspect of it and the way that she was able to be personable on camera, people got to know her a little bit more. They got to see another side of her personality, I think really played a big part in that initial success. Whenever I'm working with a client and we're starting from absolute zero, I always want to be mindful of what is the end game here. Are you going to eventually get into paid ads or are you only going to do organic? And if you're only going to do organic, how outside of the box are you willing to step in order to gain the attention needed to get your desired result? So I think initially when I was helping put together that strategy, we came up with a solid plan that was able to get her that desired result, which was connection and a couple inquiries and a couple like jumping off points and talking points with potential clients or potential partners. So I think that, the strategy that I worked on really delivered on that. And it's something that I'm really proud of. And I believe if I reached out to her today and asked about that whole experience, that she would give me a positive review. I hope you enjoyed day 7 and a look into my process. If you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate a thumbs up. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below. I'm happy to answer anything. If you really enjoyed this video and you want to see more, hit the subscribe and hit the bell so you're notified whenever I make new videos. And I will see you all tomorrow. Peace.